In the 1957 film, Bombers B-52, the casting process was a careful selection of experienced and talented actors. The film's producer, Wayne Fitzgerald, and director, Gordon Douglas, were keen on finding the right mix of seasoned professionals and up-and-coming stars. Karl Malden, an accomplished actor known for his powerful performances, was cast as the film's lead, Bomber Harris. Malden's ability to convey intensity and vulnerability made him a natural fit for the role. The producers were confident that he could bring depth and authenticity to the character. Eileen Heckart, an accomplished stage and screen actress, was chosen for the role of Mistress Harris. Her ability to portray strong-willed and compassionate characters made her an ideal choice for the part. The chemistry between Malden and Heckart was evident from their first scenes together, adding a layer of authenticity to their on-screen relationship. The film's supporting cast was equally impressive, with actors such as Marsha Hunt, Nelson Leigh, and Robert Knapp. Marsha Hunt, a seasoned actress with a career spanning several decades, was cast as the wise and nurturing Mistress Cobb. Her ability to convey warmth and understanding added depth to the character. Nelson Leigh, a veteran character actor, was cast as General Jackman. His experience and commanding presence brought authority and credibility to the role. Robert Knapp, a rising star at the time, was cast as Lieutenant Cooper. His youthful energy and enthusiasm provided a nice contrast to the more seasoned actors in the cast. The casting of Bombers B-52 was a testament to the producers' commitment to assembling a talented and cohesive cast. Through careful auditions, chemistry tests, and a keen eye for talent, they were able to create a memorable and engaging film. The cast's collective talent and chemistry helped to bring the story to life, creating a film that continues to be enjoyed by audiences today. Gordon Douglas, the director of Bombers B-52, brought the story to life with his unique vision and style. Known for his versatility, Douglas had a knack for creating engaging and realistic films. In Bombers B-52, he focused on the everyday lives of Air Force personnel, highlighting their camaraderie and the challenges they faced. Douglas's creative influences included the classic Hollywood directors of the 1930s and 1940s. He admired their ability to tell compelling stories while maintaining a sense of realism. This admiration is evident in Bombers B-52, as Douglas manages to create a relatable and authentic atmosphere within the military setting. His directing style was characterized by a straightforward approach, favoring natural performances and realistic dialogue. He worked closely with the cast and crew, encouraging collaboration and open communication. Douglas believed that a strong working relationship between the director, actors, and crew members was essential to creating a successful film. To bring out the best in his actors, Douglas fostered a supportive and nurturing environment on set. He took the time to understand each actor's process and tailored his approach accordingly. This collaborative spirit resulted in genuine and believable performances from the entire cast. In Bombers B-52, Douglas's attention to detail and commitment to realism are evident in the film's visual style. He worked closely with a cinematographer to capture the vastness and complexity of the Air Force Base, using sweeping shots to emphasize the scale of the operation. Additionally, Douglas's use of natural lighting and realistic sound effects further enhanced the film's authenticity. In conclusion, Gordon Douglas's directorial vision for Bombers B-52 was marked by his commitment to realism, collaboration, and a straightforward approach to storytelling. His unique style and creative influences resulted in a compelling and engaging film that continues to resonate with audiences today.
Before your planes came,
the radio said some children.
Bombers B-52 is a 1957 war movie that tells the story of the men who fly the B-52 bomber during the Cold War. You might have a cherished memory associated with this movie, and we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. This movie has many interesting facts behind it. For instance, did you know that the production team had to get permission from the U.S. Air Force to film on an actual Air Force base? And that the film's technical advisor was a real-life B-52 pilot? Bombers B-52 has enduring qualities that make it a symbol of the industry. Its realistic portrayal of life in the Air Force and the tension of the Cold War era make it a fascinating glimpse into the past. Throughout the movie, you'll find a mix of funny, shocking, and sad moments that will keep you engaged. So, keep watching to discover these facts and more. Do you have a favorite scene or personal experience related to Bombers B-52? We'd love to hear about it in the comments below. The 1957 movie, Bombers B-52, was filmed in various locations, primarily at the Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. The set design was a significant aspect of the production, with intricate recreations of a strategic air command base, including base operations, living quarters, and a B-52 bomber interior. The film's art department, led by set decorator William Wallace, meticulously crafted the SAC base interiors, ensuring authenticity through extensive research. They even incorporated actual SAC equipment and insignia into the set design. One of the main challenges faced during filming was capturing the intense flying sequences. To overcome this, the production team employed innovative techniques, such as using a specially designed rig to film inside a real B-52 bomber. This allowed for realistic and thrilling aerial scenes, enhancing the viewer's experience. Additionally, the film utilized a combination of miniature models, full-scale replicas, and rear projection to create convincing bomber takeoff and landing scenes. These techniques required precise coordination and execution, contributing to the film's overall success. Despite the logistical challenges and complex production requirements, Bombers B-52 was completed on time and became a popular film, praised for its realistic portrayal of SAC-based life and thrilling aerial sequences.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, same to you.
Bombers B-52 is a 1957 film that showcases the importance of Air Force maintenance in the midst of the Cold War era. While it may contain some overtly patriotic sentiments, its value lies in its authentic portrayal of airplane shots, featuring the B-47, F-86, and B-52s. As a former USAF maintenance technician, I found the movie particularly enjoyable for its attention to the role of maintenance technicians, who play a crucial part in keeping the aircrafts ready for flight. Despite some questionable plots, the movie is worth watching for its historical significance and early Air Force representation. The maintenance aspect of these airframes is vital to the overall scheme of things, often overlooked but impossible to ignore. While the O's or pilots may get to fly the planes, they couldn't do so without the maintainers ensuring the aircrafts are in top condition. In summary, Bombers B-52 is a movie that highlights the importance of Air Force maintenance during the Cold War era. With its authentic portrayal of airplane shots and attention to the role of maintenance technicians, it's a worthwhile watch for anyone interested in early Air Force movies.
For Korea.
And you're needed here.
No. I'm no good here.
The creation of a film score and soundtrack is a meticulous process that involves close collaboration between composers, musicians, and filmmakers. In the case of the 1957 movie Bombers B-52, the music was composed by Jerry Goldsmith, a renowned figure in the industry who created many memorable film scores throughout his career. Goldsmith's score for Bombers B-52 complements the narrative and emotional tone of the movie by enhancing the dramatic moments and heightening the tension. The music is characterized by its use of brass and percussion, which create a sense of power and urgency. The score also features softer, more introspective moments, which provide a contrast to the action-packed sequences and help to deepen the audience's emotional connection to the characters. In an interview, Goldsmith discussed his approach to composing the score for Bombers B-52. He explained that he wanted to create music that would reflect the intensity and excitement of the film, while also providing a sense of drama and emotional depth. To achieve this, he drew inspiration from the film's subject matter, which centers around the lives of Air Force personnel and their experiences with the B-52 bomber. The soundtrack for Bombers B-52 also features several popular songs from the 1950s, which were carefully selected to complement the film's narrative and emotional tone. These songs include That's My Desire by Frankie Laine, Blue Suede Shoes by Carl Perkins, and Tutti Frutti by Little Richard. The use of these songs helps to establish the film's historical context and adds to the overall sense of nostalgia. In addition to the score and soundtrack, the film also features several memorable musical performances. One of the most memorable is a performance by the Chordettes, a popular female vocal group of the 1950s. The group performs the song Lollipop during a scene in the film, which takes place at a USO dance. The performance is both lively and energetic, and it helps to capture the spirit of the era. Overall, the music in Bombers B-52 plays a crucial role in enhancing the film's narrative and emotional tone. Through the use of a powerful score, popular songs from the 1950s, and memorable musical performances, the film's soundtrack helps to create a rich and immersive cinematic experience. In the 1957 film Bombers B-52, Chuck's reliable family car is a 1941 Buick Special. The movie marks the appearance of the B-52B, with the initial delivery going to the 93rd Bomb Wing at Castle FBCA in the summer of 1955. One of these models, serial number 53373, is showcased in the film. Efrem Zimbalist Jr., although credited as and presenting in the opening credits, had already established himself as a seasoned actor in both films and television for over a decade before his role in Bombers B-52.
This is Mosquito 1, Mosquito 1, calling aircraft circling 10 miles east of Munsan, over.
One of the most iconic scenes in Bombers B-52 is the flight sequence, where the audience gets to experience the thrill of flying a B-52 bomber. The scene is a testament to the film's meticulous attention to detail, with the cockpit and controls recreated with remarkable accuracy. The use of real aircraft and skilled pilots lends authenticity, immersing the audience in the flight experience. Director Gordon Douglas skillfully builds tension as the bomber takes off, capturing the raw power of the aircraft's engines and the concentration of the crew. The cinematography is exceptional, with sweeping aerial shots that showcase the breathtaking landscapes below. Actor Karl Malden, who plays Colonel Jim Herlihy, described the filming process as both challenging and exhilarating. We had real pilots and real planes, and it was a bit scary at times, but it was also incredibly exciting, he recalled. I think that excitement comes across on screen. Another memorable scene is the strategy room sequence, where the characters discuss and plan their mission. The set design is impressive, with a large map table and walls covered in detailed diagrams and charts. The scene is a masterclass in ensemble acting, with each character bringing their unique perspective and expertise to the table. Director Douglas used multiple cameras to capture the scene from different angles, creating a dynamic and engaging visual experience. The use of close-ups and reaction shots adds depth to the characters and their relationships, making the audience feel like they are part of the conversation. Actor Efrem Zimbalist Jr., who plays Major Joe Connors, spoke highly of the film's commitment to realism. The strategy room scenes were incredibly detailed and well-researched, he said. We had military advisors on set to ensure that everything was accurate and authentic. Overall, Bombers B-52 features several iconic scenes that showcase the film's commitment to realism, attention to detail, and ensemble acting. The flight sequence and strategy room scene are just two examples of how the film immerses the audience in the world of the B-52 bomber and the people who fly it.
Tools, it would have been better, I assure you. Understand, it is not a good job.
In the film, Efrem Zimbalist Jr. took on the role originally intended for Tab Hunter. The characters in the story drive cars typical of the time, including a 1956 Ford Thunderbird, a 1956 Ford convertible, and 1956 Chevrolets. The B-52 Stratofortress bombers featured in the movie are impressive feats of engineering, weighing 500,000 pounds and capable of flying at speeds of 650 miles per hour, with a range of 17,000 miles without landing, thanks to mid-air refueling. Technology.
Have you started your fire yet?
Yes, sir. Oh, Major, a colonel was just here.
The 1957 movie Bombers B-52, while not a major cultural phenomenon, still had a significant impact on its audience and pop culture. The film showcased the advanced technology and power of the B-52 bomber, which fascinated audiences and sparked interest in military aircraft. It also highlighted the camaraderie and dedication of the Air Force personnel, resonating with viewers who valued teamwork and patriotism. Bombers B-52 contributed to discussions on the role of military strength and national security, a relevant theme during the Cold War era. The film's portrayal of Strategic Air Command influenced popular perceptions of military operations and the importance of a strong defense. In terms of social impact, Bombers B-52 reinforced gender roles typical of the time, with women primarily depicted as homemakers and love interests. However, it also featured a few women in supporting roles as WAFs, hinting at the expanding opportunities for women in the workforce. The movie did not significantly alter pop culture, but it did reflect and reinforce existing cultural values and attitudes. Bombers B-52's depiction of military life, technological advancements, and gender roles resonated with audiences, making it a moderate success in its time and a historical artifact today.
A little.
In the 1957 film often referred to as Bombers B-52, James Garner was initially announced to star, but ultimately did not appear in the final cut. This movie marked the first time the U.S. Air Force's new B-52 Stratofortress bomber was featured on screen, making a notable appearance in several films thereafter. Interestingly, despite receiving top billing, actress Natalie Wood had a relatively minor role in the picture. The B-52 bomber itself arguably played a more significant part, appearing in other films such as A Gathering of Eagles in 1963, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb in 1964, and By Dawn's Early Light in 1990.
Oh, yes, sir! Hey, Colonel!
The 1957 movie, Bombers B-52, received mixed reviews from critics when it was released. Some praised it for its exciting aerial combat scenes and realistic portrayal of Air Force life, while others criticized it for its weak plot and cardboard characters. Notable film critic Bosley Crowther of the New York Times, for instance, panned the film, calling it a picture of almost unbelievable emptiness and shallowness. He criticized the film's hackneyed plot and stereotyped characters, adding that there is not a single person in this film who seems to have a mind or a feeling. On the other hand, Variety magazine gave the film a more positive review, praising its authentic background and detail and impressive aerial sequences. The reviewer also noted that the film's technical credits are excellent, particularly in the areas of sound and photography. Despite the mixed reviews, Bombers B-52 was a modest success at the box office and went on to receive a nomination for Best Sound at the 1958 Academy Awards. While the film ultimately lost to The Old Man and The Sea, the nomination was still a significant achievement and a testament to the hard work and dedication of the film's sound team. For those involved in the film, the nomination was a source of pride and validation. It was a recognition of their talent and expertise, and a reminder that even in the face of critical skepticism, they had created something of value and merit. The nomination also helped to raise the film's profile and ensure its continued success in the years to come. Overall, while Bombers B-52 may not have been a critical favorite, it was still a significant and memorable film in its own right. Its impressive aerial sequences, authentic background, and strong technical credits helped to set it apart from other films of the era and ensure its lasting appeal for audiences today.
As soon as we've changed.
Very fine. Oh, by the way, did you bring a flag?
Bombers B-52, a 1957 Warner Brothers production, is a tribute to the B-52 Stratofortress bomber aircraft and the United States Air Force. This film marked the end of Elaine Town's acting career. Interestingly, during the filming of Bombers B-52, Natalie Wood was honored with 2 titles by the United States Air Force's Strategic Air Command, Miss Stratosphere of 1957, and Sweetheart of Castle Air Force Base, the Merced County base where the movie was shot. These accolades highlighted her growing popularity and the film's connection to the Air Force.
We're hoping to get them to change you.
In the making of Bombers B-52, the 1957 war film, the cast and crew faced numerous challenges and experiences that added to the movie's production lore. Karl Malden, who played General Jim Herlihy, was known for his meticulous preparation, often surprising his co-stars with his in-depth knowledge of military procedures and jargon. Eileen Wesson, the script supervisor, had a unique bond with Karl Malden. She had worked with him on previous projects and knew his working style well. Eileen would often be seen running lines with Malden between takes, helping him perfect his delivery and stay true to the character. The film's director, Gordon Douglas, had a reputation for being a tough taskmaster, but was deeply respected by the cast and crew. He demanded perfection from everyone involved, and was known to shoot scenes multiple times to achieve the desired effect. Despite his demanding nature, Douglas fostered a sense of camaraderie on set, often sharing anecdotes from his extensive career in the film industry. One of the most memorable moments during the filming of Bombers B-52 took place during the production of the climactic air raid sequence. The scene required the coordination of dozens of extras, aircraft, and pyrotechnic effects. During one take, a stray spark from a pyrotechnic device ignited a small fire on the set. The crew quickly sprang into action, extinguishing the fire before it could spread. The incident served as a reminder of the inherent dangers of filmmaking, particularly during the production of war films. Despite the occasional mishaps, the cast and crew of bombers B-52 remained dedicated to their work, creating a film that would become a classic of the war genre. The experiences and anecdotes from the film's production offer a fascinating glimpse into the world of 1950s filmmaking and the people who made it possible.
It's from the deacon of my congregation back home.
This film, Bombers B-52, showcases the U.S. Air Force's latest addition, the B-52 Stratofortress bomber, with the Air Force providing full cooperation. The movie is a tribute to the ground crew chiefs and personnel who play a crucial role in maintaining air power, as expressed in its dedication. The set design features two 1956 Zenith televisions, a console in a private sector buddy's home, and a wall-mounted model in a diner. The Zenith Gotham, Plaza, or Cloister models showcase the technology and style of the time. Bombers B-52's dedication highlights the essential contributions of ground crew chiefs and personnel to air power, expressing gratitude for their hard work and dedication. The movie serves as a testament to their indispensable role in the U.S. Air Force.
You have no idea what luxury you have provided for us.
Well, let's keep that kind of quiet.
Released in 1957, the movie Bombers B-52 holds a significant place in film history as a reflection of the Cold War era. It portrayed the strategic importance of long-range bombers and the tension between the military and civilian life. The film's impact on future filmmaking is evident in its realistic depiction of military life, which set a precedent for many war films to follow. Bombers B-52 inspired subsequent works that explored similar themes. One notable example is the 1963 film A Gathering of Eagles, which also delved into the world of strategic air command. The 1986 film Heartbreak Ridge, starring Clint Eastwood, was also influenced by Bombers B-52, as it examined the personal lives of soldiers amidst their military duties. The film's influence extends beyond cinema. It has been used as an educational tool, providing insights into the culture and politics of the Cold War era. The movie's portrayal of the B-52 bomber has also made it a valuable resource for aviation enthusiasts and historians. In summary, Bombers B-52 has left an indelible mark on film history, influencing future filmmaking and inspiring subsequent works. Its value as a historical document and educational tool continues to be recognized today.
I'm Colonel Hess.
Morning, Colonel. Ben Harris from General's Aid. Have a good trip?
In the 1957 film Bombers B-52, a tragic accident occurred on set that left a lasting impact. A stuntman named Paul Mance, a highly experienced pilot, was killed while filming an aerial scene. Mance was flying a B-25 Mitchell bomber and performing a low-level pass when the aircraft's wing clipped the ground, causing it to crash. This unfortunate event highlighted the dangers of stunt work and the importance of safety measures during filming. Despite the tragedy, the movie continued production and was released later that year, but Mance's loss was deeply felt by the cast and crew.
If that's what you want, of course. Anything you say, Colonel. Hello? Dean?
I encourage you to share your memories and experiences related to the 1957 movie Bombers B-52. Did this film leave a lasting impression on you? How did it influence your perspective on cinema? Perhaps you were captivated by the thrilling depiction of Air Force life, or maybe the stellar cast, including Karl Malden and Natalie Wood, left a mark on you. Whatever your connection to this film, we'd love to hear about it. Don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic explorations. Your engagement helps us create a vibrant community for film enthusiasts of all ages. Let's keep the conversation going and celebrate the timeless magic of classic cinema together.
That may have no more worth than a handful of sand. In times like these,